Thinking about a Land Cruiser but torn between the 200 and the 300? But don't worry, we've done the work for you. We've checked out how they drive, how much space is inside, comfort levels, off-road performance, acceleration, and fuel economy. We'll walk you through the key differences and similarities so you can pick the perfect Land Cruiser for your needs. Find your Land Cruiser at BeForward. We have over 1,600 in stock, including a wide selection of both the 200 and 300 series to match your budget and preferences. Browse our current inventory via link below. Overview. We're putting the 2016 and 2022 Land Cruiser EX models in a head-to-head comparison. Both top trim models feature Modelista Aero parts by Toyota's factory tuner. Let's dive into the legendary Land Cruiser 200. This 5th generation model stuck around for an incredible 14 years, 2007-2021. That's way longer than the usual 7-9 year car cycle. It's a testament to just how beloved and reliable this SUV was. The 200 received a ton of updates during its production, and today we're checking out a 2015 or newer model, which shows off the final visual tweaks. Now, the 300 might look similar in size and style, but underneath, it's a completely different beast, built on a brand new Toyota platform. The 300 is undeniably more modern and refined, and yes, it's loaded with tech. But remember, the 200 was a game changer when it launched 18 years ago. So while the 300 has some great tech, it might not be a huge leap forward compared to what the 200 offered in its time. That said, both are seriously impressive SUVs. Which one's right for you? Stick around to find out as we break down the details in this comparison. Exterior design and dimensions. Let's take a look at the profiles of both Land Cruisers. The 200 appears a bit smaller and more rounded overall. The front ends are distinctly different. The 300, with its enormous grille and adaptive LED headlights, has a more imposing presence. However, this is somewhat deceptive. The 200 is actually the same width, and the hoods are at the same height, sharing a similar shape with that characteristic dip in the center, though it's more pronounced on the 300. The 200's headlights are almost as good and also have adaptive tracking, meaning they turn with the steering wheel. Looking at the sides, the similarities continue, but the 300 has slightly sharper, more angular lines. The window areas and proportions are almost identical, although the 300's windows are a tad lower. Length is identical at 495 centimeters, and width is also unchanged at 198 centimeters. The height difference is a mere 4 centimeters, 188 centimeters for the 200 versus 192 centimeters for the 300. From the rear, the 300 seems significantly taller, but this is primarily due to the different tail light design and their slightly higher placement. The tailgates are where things get really interesting. They're completely different, especially how they work. More on that in a bit. Interestingly, the 300 series Land Cruiser incorporates a significant amount of aluminum in its body construction, including the hood, front fenders, roof, and all doors. Furthermore, the new model utilizes reinforced welds and structural adhesives, along with fiberglass underbody protection for increased durability and off-road protection. The new model is nearly 200 kilo lighter than its predecessor. Interior. Let's now step inside. The interior design clearly carries over into the new model, and the quality of materials is equally impressive. However, the older 200 perhaps gives the impression of being more meticulously crafted, with materials that feel slightly more durable. That said, the new model's styling is undoubtedly more contemporary. In terms of ergonomics, the two vehicles differ significantly. The classic 200 prioritizes ease of use with its numerous and well-placed switches that provide clear tactile feedback. The 300 has fewer switches, and they are decidedly more modern in terms of operation, location, and aesthetics. Noteworthy is the slightly altered angle of the windshield, which is less upright in the new model to enhance aerodynamics and reduce interior noise. The new model is significantly quieter, not only due to the meticulous use of various sound dampening materials, but primarily because of the acoustic glass used in the windows. Regarding features, both models offer 4-zone climate control, allowing individual temperature settings for each zone. The 300 additionally boasts advanced filtration and ventilated seats, in addition to the heated seats found in both models in both rows. Driving position and front seats. Now let's focus on the driving position, a key area where these two Land Cruisers diverge significantly. While headroom is comparable in both, the seating experience is worlds apart. In the 200, you're perched high, almost like in a truck. The pedals are close, limiting legroom and forcing a more upright, chair-like posture. The low center console, housing the gear lever and manual parking brake, reinforces this truck-like feel. You sit above the console and cockpit, a stark contrast to the familiar car-like experience. The 300, on the other hand, offers a distinctly different, more contemporary driving position. It's comfortable and car-like, with pedals set further back for better legroom. The high center tunnel creates a more immersive, cockpit-like feel. The driving experiences themselves are equally distinct. The previous generation 200, while equipped with adaptive cruise control and a multifunction steering wheel, shared notably with the workhorse Toyota Hiace van, feels its age. The current generation 300, however, provides a thoroughly modern and luxurious driving experience. Rear seats. The rear seats hold another surprise. While the current model loses the sliding rear bench, the seat backs still recline for added comfort. This sliding feature was particularly useful for maximizing space in the third row, and here the older generation has the advantage. Its third row seats are larger and more comfortably contoured. Boot space. Now, let's talk cargo space. And there's a significant difference here. The new model does away with the signature split tailgate. While both offer power operation, the older Land Cruiser's split tailgate is far more practical, especially in tight parking situations or when you're out on the trails. However, the newer generation offers more overall cargo space, particularly with all the seats folded down. The folding mechanisms are different too. Maximum cargo dimensions in the 300 are 94.5 centimeters in height, 6.5 centimeters less than the 200, 132 centimeters in width, a substantial 42 centimeters increase, and 186 centimeters in length, a significant 18 centimeters increase. On road performance and comfort, let's start with the classic 200. It feels undeniably heavy, and even with the air suspension, you'll sense the ladder frame construction. Subtle vibrations are transmitted into the cabin and seats, especially noticeable on rough tarmac and uneven surfaces. Soft suspension is comfortable, but can lead to noticeable sway, especially during cornering. In stark contrast, the all-new 300, while still built on a frame, feels completely different. You'll still detect some inherent frame characteristics, but they're significantly less pronounced. The adaptive suspension, aided by rapid hydraulic stabilizers, virtually eliminates body roll and sway, resulting in superior comfort and significantly more stable cornering compared to the older 200. We're comparing the petrol versions. The older 200 series is powered by a 4.7-litre V8 with 318 PS and 460 Newton meters at 3,600 RPM. The newer one has a 3.5-litre twin-turbo V6, providing 422 PS and 600 Newton meters at 1,600 RPM. In terms of cabin noise, the 200 is still a comfortable car, but you'll hear engine noise and tyre hum. The 300 offers a vastly different experience, more akin to a contemporary, well-engineered passenger car. The twin turbocharged engine is remarkably quiet, and the enhanced cabin soundproofing complete with acoustic glass makes a noticeable difference. The older Land Cruiser feels massive. The steering isn't that precise and requires some force from the driver, which might be a drawback when you consider women drivers. On the opposite side, we have the new 300 with precise steering and a wheel that you're able to turn with one finger in any condition. The driving feel is also different. The 200 feels heavy and big, and despite the V8, it always feels like you're towing a substantial load. The 6-speed automatic transmission in the 200 tends to keep the revs around 2,000 RPM. The engine comes alive around 3,200 RPM, delivering its full potential. In contrast, under similar conditions, like going uphill, the 300's transmission aims to keep the revs between 1,300 and 1,500 RPM. The Land Cruiser feels remarkably light and agile, making it surprisingly easy to drive. You quickly forget its size and weight. It accelerates rapidly and quietly, with almost seamless gear changes in a tight rev band, resulting in a distinct sense of power. It's a far more refined experience, designed to align with modern passenger car expectations. However, if you're a fan of old-school vibes, a powerful V8 with its constant hum, and the feeling of commanding a heavy beast, the older 200 is the perfect pick. Off-road performance. Both generations are designed to conquer the most challenging off-road obstacles. The older tackles them with a different approach, one that experienced off-road drivers are used to and might prefer. Certainly, you'll need more experience to match the new 300's pace through the same terrain. The 200 suspension will toss you around the cabin quite a bit. Precise navigation, even with the 360-degree cameras, isn't as easy as in the newer one. Some compare off-roading in the 200 to sailing a small boat on rough seas. The 300, with its advanced terrain modes, upgraded suspension, and additional underbody camera, makes even toughest terrain feel like an effortless adventure. The ride is refined and smooth, without the jarring motions of the 200. The new hill descent and crawl modes perform exceptionally well. You won't feel the need to constantly use the brakes or carry as much momentum as you did with the previous generation. From an off-road perspective, these are certainly some of the biggest differences between these two Land Cruisers, and crucial considerations when choosing the one that best suits your primary usage scenarios. In conclusion, these are distinctly different vehicles, each catering to different users. The tried and true 200 may feel a bit aged, but it ages like fine wine. It still offers superior comfort for 7 passengers, a silky smooth, naturally aspirated V8, and an undeniable sense of substantial size, fine quality, and that legendary Japanese craftsmanship. Conversely, the 300 series showcases a contemporary, quiet car-like luxury interior, a refined chassis, and a suspension that virtually eliminates sway. Moreover, despite a nearly 32% power increase, the 300's twin-turbo petrol engine delivers a real-world average fuel consumption of around 14.5 litres per 100 kilometres, a significant improvement over the previous generation's 4.7 litre, achieving approximately 18 litres per 100 kilometres. If you're looking for a competitively priced, high-quality Land Cruiser with delivery to your country, look no further. Visit BeForward.jp today. Click the link below to browse our vast global inventory of over 1,600 Land Cruisers in both left-hand drive and right-hand drive specifications. You can also send your inquiries to top@beforward.jp.